you may have noticed we already sold out our allotment of tickets for Dallas. What? You know, don't worry. It's not a plan B. Plan A is in motion. We just took the amount we sold, and we're now, the other allotment will come out next week, okay? But we moved, because there's things we have to do, but you're going to really like what we're doing. But I think we moved is over 14,000, 15,000 tickets in one day, okay? So something's going on, and it's called Next Level 2. And I've been saying this over and over, and I don't know if you've heard me, but I've said everything you're seeing here was designed to scale, designed to grow, has the next place it's going to, okay? And every single part, whether it's the products, whether it's the systems, whether it's the training, whether it's the places we're operating in, every single thing is designed to scale. And so you're just going to see really Next Level 2. And I don't know, we could have as many as, who knows, 25, 30,000 people there, I think, okay? So you'll be hearing more about that. The other thing I want to just mention real quickly, in a little while, coming back up here later on, I'll be introducing you to Jeff and Max Stock, who with Signum. And you guys are really amazing, because it's really funny, because the people at Princeton, they have their person watching social media, and he was just kind of doing this, and all of a sudden he went like this, boom, through the ceiling. You know, what happened, you know? And so you guys are doing a good job. We're going to put out today the do's and don'ts, because that relationship, you got to make sure we say it right, how Princeton and Signum work together and how we're connected. Because right now, I am in charge. Jeff Olson is running Princeton. He's taken over, you know, and you know, it's funny, you know, so, and that's not what we're doing, okay? And so we got to clean up our language a little bit. They're not upset. They understand. They're really cool. But you got their attention. And, you know, like, whoa, what just went off? Okay? I told you we're good. Get used to it. And so this next announcement, I'm really excited about this one. Because I'm here to talk to the next person that's going to come up. To me, it was part of the team that laid the foundation for this company. You know, it was years ago, and I sat in a room with the Nerium biotechnology people. And the key person there was Dennis Knope, who's the chairman and CEO. And we spent about 5 hours there. And I remember walking out saying, if what they're telling me is what this can do, this could be the thing I've been waiting for to build the perfect company, okay? And the time went on, and you heard about that, and eventually we built a relationship and a partnership with Nerium Biotechnology, and that relationship has evolved, you know, and basically the two people we work with there the most is Dennis Knope, who's the chairman and CEO, and Michael Scott, who runs Nerium Skincare. There's other people over there like Joel Curtis. People remember Joel Curtis, who spoke at our first conference, who runs the farms. There's Joel Curtis. There's Joe Nestor, who's part of the original team. And these guys put together a partnership with us that allow us to go and we've almost done $1 billion in sales of their product. Think about that when you combine it all. So what a heck of an intro, okay? But what I want to have now is we pretty much, when we launched that product, there's two things we knew. When we brought out Nate, there's two things that we knew at that moment, is that the product was absolutely safe. Okay, you've seen the 5 scientists that talk about that, and the product worked, okay? But now, here, 3.5 years later, 12 million bottles, approaching 12 million bottles sold with it in it, okay? We know a lot more. That's just how science is. Science, on one hand, is exact, but on the other hand, it evolves, okay? And the person who's behind the scenes on the science level is Dr. Newman. And Dr. Newman he spoke at our first conference. We haven't seen him since, and he's been doing the research. And what we're going to do now is I want him to give him an opportunity to come here and tell you what we know more about Nate. Because Nate is a pretty cool dude, okay? And Nate's amazing. And we don't even know, I think, what we got our hands on, okay? And so you new people don't know, Dr. Newman, first of all, he's 30 years he's spent his life in academia and medical research and research more than anything else. Number two, he's actually published over 320 articles on pharmacology, toxology, development of anti-cancer drugs. I mean, that's where his space is at. He spent 24 years at the University of MD Anderson, which is considered the #1 cancer research institute in the world, heading up and the founder and the co-director of the Pharmaceutical Development Center for them. So 24 years heading up that research at MD Anderson. That's pretty significant, okay? It always cracks me up when an esthetician is smart. You know, and we got these 5 toxologists and Dr. Newman. I go, really? Okay, really? You know, not saying, you know, the negative estheticians are smart, okay? And, but he, very, very recognized individual. And he is also the head of the advisory board and chief scientific officer and everything at Nerium Biotechnologies, Nerium Skincare. And he's just an amazing person behind the scenes you'll get a chance to hear. We 10 months old, we brought him into San Diego when we had our first conference. Here we are now 3.5 years later, ready to tell you more about this incredible thing that we got our hands on. That's just, it's a miracle what it's done. And he just really is a great friend. I just really want from every one of you to recognize what Nerium Biotechnology has meant to us, what Dennis Knoke has meant to us, what Michael Scott's meant to us, what Joel Curtis has meant to us, Joel Nestor's meant to us, their entire team has meant to us, and what behind the scenes, the research, what Dr. Newman has done for 30 years that led up to Nate being involved and us getting our hands on it and be able to build a company to take $1 billion out, and now we're ready to take it around the world, what it means to us. So really, let's give them respect, the due they deserve. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Paul, Dr. Newman, okay? Thank you. I say Robert Newman.
Nice.
Appreciate you.
All right. Good morning, Nerium International. All right, I am thrilled to be back. They let me on stage once every 3 years. You got to change that. All right, we have been busy the last 2.5, 3 years working on Nate and a lot of other products, and I am absolutely thrilled to take a few minutes this morning to tell you about what we've been up to and what's in your future. You know, 17 years ago, I sat down with 4 of my technicians at MD Anderson Cancer Center and told them I had a harebrained idea. I'd heard about this plant called Nerium oleander, and I wanted to take a chance. I thought maybe this was a key path to come up with therapies for cancer, other kinds of diseases, and to do so in an effective manner with an inexpensive way to treat cancer. Now, you've all heard stories of families that have been devastated with the expense of high-priced chemotherapy. All right, that's one of my goals, so dream no small dreams, right? I had read this other little book that talked about the decisions that you make in your life, even small ones, can impact your future and the lives of others. I met the author of that book, Jeff Olson, and little did he know the impact that book and that philosophy would have on me. So let me go back. So this is all about a journey that started 17 years ago with 4 technicians, and my goodness, look what it's grown into. It's simply amazing. We'll come back to the story of the journey at the very end of today's talk, but we'll let it go at that. All right, I stole this cartoon from one of my favorite cartoonists, Sid Harris. If you can see it, it's got 2 professors at the blackboard with an equation, and it says, new cosmetic, then a miracle happens, and it's beauty. Right? And the caption reads, I think you should be more explicit here in step 2. So I go with my wife to Macy's and other stores. We roam through the cosmetic aisles. I see all kinds of claims. I see no science. I see lots of claims, and that is not the world that I come from. I come from, if you're going to say something, you better be able to prove it. Now, the truth is that in taking that step towards exploring Nerium oleander and its potential, it really reflects upon the essence of science, which is, much like the Ripple program that you are involved with, the fact that one discovery leads to many others. That has been the fascination for me in the years that I've been in science, that one look and one hypothesis, whether it's true or not, leads to other discoveries, and that has certainly been true working with Nerium oleander. Now, you all know that Nerium oleander is not my discovery. I don't take claim for that. It's been around for more than 1,500 years in lots of ancient texts. It contains, that we know now, many bioactive compounds in addition to oleandrin, oleanolic acid, which is present in Nerium oleander, as well as things like grape leaves, ursolic acid, betulinic acid. These are all really important anti-inflammatory molecules all together in a potent extract. They have activity against aberrant skin cells. We know that. They've been traditionally used by herbalists for a wide variety of maladies and skin conditions. So with that knowledge as a background, we set out to ask questions. If extracts of Nerium oleander could help revert damaged tissue and their cells back to a more normal appearance or phenotype, could they help repair skin tissue as well? Now, this had to do with common skin problems, anti-aging effects, wrinkles, sun damage, and the prevention of free radical damage to skin tissues. That set us off on a path that led to the research behind NAE8. So here's Nerium oleander, here's aloe. The very fact that we came up with one plant to extract the other was extraordinary, risky, and resulted in the product that you use and sell, NAE8. All right. Now, proof is in the pudding. Now, where have I been for 3 years? I've been busy. We have been doing a lot of research, and we are now publishing that research. It gets better. This is the first article that will be out in about a month. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-apoptotic, and skin regenerative properties of aloe vera-based extract of Nerium oleander leaves. It's a pretty catchy title, right? Yeah, I came up with that one myself. All right, so here's some important information about this. When scientists typically publish papers, they go into medical journals that are stuck in dusty shelves in a medical library. The world has now changed. You can choose up front to pay fees such that these articles are open access, available to everyone. So why is this important? Because you will have access to this and all the other papers we publish about Nerium International products. This is the only right way to do this. We want you to take the claims that we're talking about and get excited about, and if you want to, you go find out the truth in the publications that we have. So much like Signum Biosciences, and I had my EHT this morning, you now have the ability for you and your customers to go look up the real science and fact check for yourself. Okay? All right, so you've heard a lot about oxidation and antioxidant activity, and they have to do with these things called free radicals. I'd be delighted to show you a 10-foot-long equation with free radicals that would bore the heck out of you. But you know what oxidation is. If you cut open an apple, if you cut open, or here in California, an avocado, and you leave it on the kitchen table for a few minutes while you fix the rest of the salad, what happens? It turns brown, right? That's oxidation. It's the reaction of certain oxygen species attacking the surface of these tissues. Now, I'm going to take 3 hours to go through this slide. No, I'm not really. It'll be available to you. It's simply to let you know that we know a lot about the biochemistry of skin tissue, what's within the cells, and the fact that every day we're exposed to UV, pollution, irritants, cleaning agents, car exhaust, affecting the major organ in our body, which is skin. Once this is injured, it leads to reactive oxygen species, of which there are many. And the important point is that these reactive oxygen species in excess can damage DNA, turn on nasty genes, and have a direct influence in promoting excessive inflammation as well. So these terms, oxidation and inflammation, are linked, particularly in skin tissue. All right, so we set out to ask 3 questions. Does NeriumAD protect the skin from external oxidative injury? That is, by simply putting it on the skin, does it have an antioxidant effect? We also asked, do components of NeriumAD protect the cells against oxidative attack? And we did this by taking not only human dermal cells, but actually 3D cultures of living skin, human skin, putting on the NeriumAD, washing it off, waiting an hour, and then attacking it with an oxidative substance like hydrogen peroxide. Right? It doesn't do any good if you need to wear this stuff all the time, 24/7. You want to know that it's there inside the cell acting as a protectant as well. And then finally we asked, does NeriumAD induce skin defense mechanisms against future oxidative injury? Well, it's kind of a cruel fact of life that as we age, and I guess I've been doing that too, our natural defense mechanisms like antioxidants within our skin, vitamin C, glutathione, enzymes such as superoxide dismutase, are really potent in a newborn, but then they degrade as we age. What we wanted to know was, did we have something that would boost those natural anti-defense mechanisms within cells? All right. Now, and the proof of that is not me standing up here telling you that it's so. Look at the paper. We did the research. It's there. It's real science. All right, so we've gone beyond that. I told you I was busy the last 2.5 years. The effects of NeriumAD on human skin showed an induction of naturally occurring molecules known as cytokines and chemokines, typically associated with the resolution of an inflammatory process. Now, let me point out, inflammation is not bad per se. We cut ourselves, we burn ourselves. In my case, with a new puppy, skin punctures from sharp teeth. It's important that there be an inflammatory response to help heal that wound. But once things are underway and cells have been recruited and the resolution process is in place, we need to resolve that inflammation, get rid of it, and repair the skin. And what we found was that NeriumAD led to a resolution of the inflammatory process. It helps heal the skin. Now, so my colleagues and I that worked on the first publication have 2 more that we're working on now. These will be out by early fall. You're going to have access to these as well. They deal with anti-inflammatory effects and immune regulatory effects within the skin. And we'll be working closely with Nerium International to make sure that you understand what's in these papers so that you can tell your friends and colleagues. Now, rather than showing you a bunch of graphs, which you're going to see anyway when you get to read the paper, here's some of the conclusions from our published research. That NeriumAD extract has multiple beneficial effects to a cellular antioxidant protection system. It reduces the cellular free radical production itself, both in the absence and in the presence of an inflammatory insult. And it did not lead to any induction of inflammatory cytokines. Despite what people criticize us for having Nerium oleander in there, it is safe. All right, one of the other things that we did, because we're scientists, was we really wanted to understand, so what is so special about NeriumAD? I mean, after all, we're taking Nerium oleander extract, we're taking aloe from aloe vera, weren't both of these or either one of these as effective as NAE8? And the answer is no. To my surprise, you would expect to get a combination of the two, but NAE8 is superior, both in antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Again, that's in the paper. But what that really means is you have access to something that is truly unique. Nobody else can go out there and extract Nerium oleander or aloe vera, slap the two together, and say they have something as good as what you have in NAE8. So in conclusion, at least to the published research that we've done to date, our data show that the NAE8 demonstrates properties that are beneficial to skin health, including antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity. But the true uniqueness of NAE8 lies in the multiple mechanisms of action and multiple levels of beneficial activity that are of relevance when NAE8 is applied topically to the skin. Explaining how NAE8 works is complicated because it works in different ways. Now, we've produced a video that I hope you have seen or will see soon explaining how that works. And again, our published research will make that clear. All right. Okay. Well, that's not good enough, is it? We have exciting new research, new products coming along, under eye treatments, after skin exposure for skin care and lip care, and one that I am especially excited about. And they've told me they're going to give me the hook if I say anything about it other than I guess you like that one. Okay. Now, we're going to work very closely with our partners at Signum Biosciences. You're going to hear more about this before the day is out. And this is going to rock your world. All right, I've got to finish up here. So our future in research is exciting. We're getting ever more expanding opportunities for the work that we do on the research side, from your side and mine, ever expanding opportunities to augment the quality of life for yourself and others. And let me make one point about this. The work that you do trickles back to people like me so that we can put some of that money to work in anti-cancer, antiviral research. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right, I started out by saying this was a journey. You all, as well as I, are on this journey together. I have really no idea where this is going to lead, but it's going to lead to good things. The journey continues, and the best is yet to come, believe me. I showed this slide 3 years ago. I made up this silly cartoon, but I still believe in it. The sign has signposts on there like, 1, make a difference with your life. Dream no small dreams, but have fun while doing it. And there's nothing wrong with becoming financially independent while you do all of that. So on behalf of Nerium Biotechnology, real science, real results, thank you so much.